Shadowed Battlegrounds presents Unearthed Legends, the ghostly defenders of Clonbroney, an Irish tale of Viking invasion. In the year 867, the air over the small Irish village of Clonbroney was thick with the acrid smell of smoke and the distant roar of the sea. The villagers, a hardy mix of farmers and fishermen, were not strangers to hardship, but the long ship spotted on the horizon heralded a threat, unlike any they had faced before Vikings. The village's chieftain was a rugged man named Fergal, known for his unwavering courage and deep faith in Saintpatrick, the patron of Ireland. As the Viking ships drew nearer, Fergal rallied his people, though he knew their meager numbers and simple farming tools were no match for the seasoned warriors of the north. Night fell like a shroud over Clonbroney, the ominous beat of the Viking drums echoing through the dark. Women and children huddled in the stone church, praying fervently as Fergal and his band of farmers took up positions outside. The night air was pierced by the chilling sound of a Viking horn, signaling the start of the siege. The Vikings descended like wraiths in the night, their fearsome cries filling the air. Fergal and his men fought valiantly, but it was clear they were being overwhelmed. In a desperate moment, Fergal retreated to the church, falling before the altar of Saintpatrick. "Great saint, protector of our land," Fergal prayed, his voice a fervent whisper, "if ever your children needed your intercession, it is now." As Fergal's prayer reached a crescendo, a sudden gust of wind swept through the church, extinguishing all candles but one. The flame flickered as if dancing to an unseen melody, and outside, the battle seemed to pause, the air electric with anticipation. From the shadows of the wood surrounding Clonbroney, figures began to emerge. They were warriors clad in ancient garb, spectral and silent, carrying shields and swords that shimmered with an ethereal light. They moved with purpose toward the battlefield, their forms becoming more solid with each step. The Vikings, taken aback by this ghostly army, faltered. The spectral warriors charged, their cries a haunting echo of battles long past. The air filled with the clash of metal and the eerie sound of ghostly war cries. Under the light of the lone candle in the church, Fergal watched as the tide turned. The Vikings, filled with dread, began a frantic retreat to their ships. As the spectral army pursued the invaders to the shore, the sky darkened ominously. Thunder rolled over the sea, and massive waves churned as if stirred by an ancient spell. In their haste to escape, the Vikings found their longships caught in a mighty storm. Lightning illuminated the scene as the ships were dashed against the rocks, the sea swallowing them in a furious Mainlander. By dawn, the beach was littered with debris from the wrecked Viking fleet, and the spectral warriors were nowhere to be seen. The villagers emerged from their sanctuary, awe and relief written on their faces as they beheld their salvation. Fergal stood on the shore, watching the sunrise paint the sea with hues of gold and red. He knew that Saintpatrick had answered his prayer, sending the fallen heroes of Ireland to defend their descendants. With a heart full of gratitude, he whispered a prayer of thanks, his voice carrying on the morning breeze. From that day forward, the legend of Clonbroney's miraculous defense spread across the land, a tale of faith, spectral warriors, and a village that stood against the fury of the north, protected by the patron saint who had once driven all the snakes from Ireland.